Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuesday Live. Sorry a little bit late today. Well, for some reason, all my camera and my microphone wanted to stop working, so I had to restart my computer a couple of times, but it's good now. So, hope you guys are all having a good evening. I'm still smoking on that Frosty Treats. We're going to be working on this until our Tango Mango is almost about a month into the cure. Once it hits a month in the cure, then we're going to start that one. And then, of course, the Turkey's Punch, we're going to leave for a few more weeks. Hope you guys are all doing good out there. Certified, AG, Bizzle, Curly, Kevin, NDG, Chronic, hope you're doing well. Jeremy here, what's good, brother? Old School, Zen, Medicine Man. Hope you guys are all having a good week so far. If anybody wants to come and show their grows, you're more than welcome to do. I'm going to go through some pictures, and I might show all my plants right now. They're all seedlings about this big, but we're doing pretty good so far on that. So, Bookie. You guys, anybody have any big things coming down or big things starting you're doing? Yeah, right. I got 4 cats, that's why. What's up, Eugene? Hope you're doing well. AGM. Oh, nice. There you go. Hey, Kevin. I haven't seen you up here in a little while. Hope you're doing. How you been?
All right.
Nice. That's looking good.
Yeah, I had 3 plants in here, but 2 of them hermed.
Ah, no way.
Yeah.
Well, that one's looking good for what it is, but I can imagine with 3 it was probably much more dense in there. But next time,
yeah,
right?
It looked more like this.
Yeah, there you go. That's looking good, man. What are we looking at? What do you got growing?
These are purple frost giant.
Okay, awesome.
Welcome to the grow tent.
Yeah.
And that was blueberry spacewalk.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I come in here last night to turn the heater on, and I noticed my grow light had a faint glow, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I looked, and some of the diodes were partially lit.
Oh.
So that's why they hermed, and I didn't know it because I wasn't coming in here after the lights went out.
Yeah. Yeah. No. What did you figure out? What caused that to happen?
It's got to be the controller 69. I changed that. Everything was set to automation, so I figured everything was fine.
Yeah.
And it's set for 0 for the off and 10 for the max but it wasn't shutting it all the way off. So now I hooked up a smart plug, and I have the power for the light plugged directly into that. So even if the grow light doesn't shut off all the way from the controller, the power to the light will be off.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea to have that backup plan. I always use the older, just the controllers for the fans. I haven't got any of the 69 controllers or anything, but even with those, I found that setting on auto, there's been a few times where I've gone in my garden and I've been trying to control humidity and stuff, and the thing's all of a sudden shot up to speed 10 for some reason. It didn't make sense for any of the brackets I sent, unless it was a probe got dirty, right? And then if the probe gets dirty, I don't know if that's what sends it off, but I've had that happen doing auto. That's why I don't do autos on mine. But if you're doing the 69, I can imagine that's why you guys are using that. And I haven't tried that one yet myself.
Well, I had the 69 Pro Plus.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the AI on it, but it has all the automation where I can just hit flower, and it automatically sets all the equipment up for flowering, and it asks you what VPD you want it set at, and it automatically controls the humidifier and the fans for the VPD.
That's pretty handy if it's controlling like that.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm using. I don't shut these at night. I leave them open all the time.
Yeah.
So I can control the temperature and stuff in the grow room better. All right, now I got the air conditioner on to keep it around 77 with the lights on, and then right before they shut off, I'll turn the heater on and shut the air off, because at night the temperature in here would drop down to like 62.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I guess.
So I the lowest I'm letting it go is like 72.
Well, yeah, you can tell your plants are super happy.
Well, these ones have been super happy since day one. I don't know. They were even pruning themselves and dropping their own leaves and everything.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, I didn't have to do much.
That's a really nice looking garden, dude. How many you got? You got 3?
Yeah, there's 3 plants in here.
Yeah.
And today I went down and stripped everything underneath the scrog.
Yeah. Oh, there you
go. Everything there is all stripped out. Because today's the beginning of the second day of week 4.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're getting there and cleaning some leaves up. That's a good time to do it.
Yeah, it's day 24 today. But yeah, they're starting to stack.
Are you gonna do any sort of leaf strip, or you don't? That's not your style.
I don't know. I'm afraid to strip because
Yeah,
I know how important the leaves are for the growth of the buds and stuff, for the photosynthesis.
That's true. But the absorption rate's almost 95% of a green leaf. So if you have that, like 3 leaves or 4 leaves on top of each other, the actual fraction of photon is not going to be getting down to like the 4th leaf very strong.
I'm still scared.
No, totally. That's what I meant. It's not everybody's style. Totally. Your plants are looking absolutely healthy. So I was just wondering. That's all.
Well, I just got in here and defolied today. So defolied, I water and fed them because they looked like they were getting a little hungry.
Yeah.
Fed them some green rush with some potassium and some terpinator. And
yeah, because that's your go-to, right? Is the green rush?
Yeah. I put.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I had terpinator. I've added silica. I've used amino acids. I put yucca in the water.
But your overall medium, you don't build an actual base for the medium, or is it inert, or do you add anything in there at the start?
It's Coco Loco.
Okay.
It's Fox Farm Coco Loco. I'll tell you the difference between the Coco Loco and then the Happy Frog and Ocean Forest that I was using. They grow a lot faster in the Coco Loco.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the way that it's the way that the what was the other thing you used? Ocean Forest?
Yeah, I used Ocean Forest and Happy Frog in my other grows, and this is the first run with Coco Loco. And throughout all the transplanting, the roots grew so fast.
Yeah. And what type of what pots are you using? Or do you have fabric pots, or are you using the airs?
Yeah, fabric pots. I use AC Infinity watering bases.
Nice.
There are three. I'm using 3-gallon pots.
Yeah, sort of correct. So, the cocoa logo is just an inert cocoa, then you're adding the green rush to it. There's nothing in the logo, is there?
Yeah, it's got back guano and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. So it does have all that. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I just don't. I don't do that sort of growing, so that's why I was just at the question. No,
Yeah, it doesn't say that. It didn't say that it has a lot of stuff in it, but I know it said it had back guano and some other stuff. And
no, that's awesome.
I've heard other people say that it's not much different than the ocean forest, except for that it's cocoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plants like it.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
I mean that with 3 plants in here, I had 3 plants in here. I took 2 of them down, and that's what's left.
Yeah.
I mean that was
it would be just like
that was completely full. That was packed. That was a shame when I saw them freaking nanners. Well, I saw the balls on it.
What did you have in there?
I had 2 other blueberry spacewalks.
Oh, really? Eh? So, and this one's the only one that never got affected when the light did that?
Right. This was the one in the middle, stuffed in the middle.
That's good. At least you got one that come out so that you can try that out. But that's strange that happened to you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even have known about the light until I came in, because it started getting too cold in here because the temperature outside dropped like 20 degrees. So then it got colder. It got colder in the grow room, so I had to come in here to turn the heat on. I'll turn it up a little bit, and I saw the light on. I'm like, what the hell? I said, so this is what caused the damn plants to harm.
Yeah, that would definitely trigger that stress response with having it like that.
That's the only thing I can think of, because everything else is I mean, I got cardboard and tape over every little light. Even the little lights on the air conditioning, I got styrofoam covering the little green lights. I got electrical tape on all the other lights. So that's it. I would have never known.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be much.
Well, that's all I got to show.
No, dude, it's looking really good. Nice looking grows. It's unfortunate that you only had one of the 3 on the other side, because I can imagine it looked just like that.
It pretty much did, yeah. But at least I know it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the seeds. It was actually it was a mechanical malfunction. So I'll be all right next time. I already got picked out what I'm growing next.
Oh, what's that? What do you?
I got a cherry lime reserve.
Nice.
I'm gonna grow one of those in here. I'm gonna spread it out throughout the whole scrog. And then I got what are they? Tangerine punch. I got 2 tangerine punch seeds I'm gonna grow in here.
That sounds terpy. That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I know definitely having some terpy stuff coming through the runs is going to be nice. I'm doing the same. I'm kind of leaning towards a little more.
Yeah, but these look really nice though. I think this is about the nicest I've grown so far. So I'm getting better. I got my new poster.
That's awesome. Nice space, dude. It looks awesome there.
All right, I'm gonna head back and chat and let someone else come up.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming up and showing. It's been a while since I've seen your grows.
Yeah, my light will go off in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna set things up here and I'll be back in chat.
Yeah, man. Anybody else is welcome to come and show the grows if they want. Like I said, I just have little stars here, but I can go and show them. They're like this big. There's no real point. Everybody's seen plants that big. Hope you guys are doing well. Jimmy John, you're more than welcome to come up. Yeah, I'll turn off this and look quickly. The frosty treats. I got some I got lots of frosty treats. Pretty much, I'd say about 3 ounces or so left of the frosty treats. And then after that, we're gonna move on to the Tango Mango, which is 3 of these. And this. But yeah, no. And then once I start making, I'll be making some hash pretty soon here. So yeah, I use seagulls to cure. It makes it easy because for bourbon, for example, for just a bourbon, it's a lot easier than doing a bunch of jars. Just do that, and then you just rotate it. I kind of just flip. I just basically just take them like this and just kind of flip them, like a gentle, not like crazy, but then just rotate it until you can see that the ones they kind of rotate over. And you just do that once. Yeah, and they hold, and this one holds a pound, so that, because this one is it'd be 2 gallons. It's 8 liters. This one right here is 4 liters, so this is a gallon. And this one holds 2 ounces. And there's another one a little smaller than this that's out there that holds 1 ounce. And there's a bigger one too that I don't have. Yeah, oh yeah, they're all full. They're all full. I'm not gonna go through and pop them all, but yeah, I got another one down here on the floor. It's mostly Tango Mango. Yeah, they are worth it. Just buy them as you need them. They're expensive. I understand they're expensive, but if you buy them as you need them, then you that's how I did it. I bought one, and then as I grew a little more. Yeah. Because I do understand that they're expensive, but they're one of those things that will last forever. You just clean them with a little ISO. I do it once every time I fill them back up again, kind of ISO them all down. And if you do use Vivitas, they do have that little spot in the top so you can hang your humidity packs. Yeah, that's exactly what I would suggest, Dottie. And that's how I did it. As I grew it a little more each time, I just went out and bought another one. These bags actually, see, I've opened and closed this bag a few times when the zipper seems to hold, but this is a Vita bag, just like Seavolt, or not Seavolt, just like Grow bag per se. But it would be better if those bags were not, I didn't have a clear side. I don't like it when there's clear side. I'd rather have no access to light. Yeah, let me turn. And for the people wondering about the people that lost wrenches, it was just if whoever trolled people on my channel, you lost a wrench, and it's just the way it's just going to be. Just not dealing with it. It's nothing to do with who it was towards. It was towards anybody. And it's just so when the person wants to troll again, they can just be blocked by somebody else that has a wrench. I'd just rather not deal with it. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about on that, because I'd rather not. I'd rather talk about plants. So I'm going to go show my little starts. Yeah, no, the people that had them, I haven't done anything with new people yet. I just haven't added anybody. Well, like that, no, it's just taking forever to connect my data here. No, don't worry about it. Yeah. They're small anyways, it doesn't matter. For some reason, I can't connect my phone, so don't worry about the small plants for now. But yeah, no, anybody want to come up, show their grows, or just chill, more than welcome. Here, I'll show you what I got growing at the spot. How's it going? It's all good stuff. Like I said, I can even show a picture of what they look like instead, because it would be no different than what you'd see right now. That's my next run. So this is the juice junkies. It's juicy fruit crossed with medicine man. But this one ended up being a twin. So this one never germinated. But this one over here is a twin. So we're probably just going to pick off the small one right away, because you don't really want to keep that going. Last time I tried to do that, when week 3 of flower hit, one took off and the other one just shriveled up and stopped performing. So whenever I see a twin, a lot of people think it's something cool to try it out. One never makes it, that I've noticed. But so that's the next run of regulars that go into the 4x8. Eugene, I would just get rid of that. It's most likely going to be a mold, and who knows if it gets within the actual the cell of the plant. Did you keep the dome on it for too long, Eugene? Because I've accidentally left a dome on a ceiling before in the past, and they can grow mold under a lot of humidity over a long period of time. But I would suggest, if you have another one, just to try to start it again, because a lot of the times it's going to be. I just would never want it to pop up on me later on. Nice, dude. That sounds like a good one. Oh yeah, Dottie. In flour or in veg? Because in veg you can get away with that as long as you catch it and switch it back. And I know there are a lot of people out there that will do 24 hours in veg. Even though I don't agree with it, I still think it needs a little bit of time, but it's personal preference. Yeah. Yeah, no, it should be fine. Just bring it back to where it is. I've done the whole get your whole plant ready for flower, leaf, and then come back a week later and think that you switched it, but it still be on 18.6, and then you have a lot bigger plant to deal with. Yeah, it will totally be fine, especially if you caught it. The other thing I was going to show you guys is that my forum stomper is up. So my next autoflower and the 3x3 is going. That's going to be still a couple weeks out for the next autoflower episode. Flipping. Let them grow to at least have a first couple nodes or what have you, so they're a little bit established. Flip it 12-12, flip it back. I did that with guava mezcal. I did that with both my guava mezcal and with the method of croco. And it's the fastest way I did it. Just make sure that the minute that you see the hairs come out, then you start taking your females, right? And flip it back to 18.6 is fast right away, so you don't stay in that state as long so you can get out of that state. One time it took me 6 days. The other time it took me 8 days, to see the hairs come out on those plants. And then the minute that you see the hairs, select your plants and flip it back to 18.6. Let it go a week or so, maybe even a week to maybe a week and a half, and you should be totally fine. Just run it at 18.6. Just run it like you're vegging it. Just don't. I would just run it like you're vegging it. Yeah, man. That's how I've done it. Hey, lady. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, they do. I think the cost of those tests are a little bit not that expensive anymore, but there still is a cost. But you can send in like 10 different plants. I think there's like you just send in a kit basically that you just take in your own, but they're coming down on it. Yeah. I remember when they weren't that cheap. I remember when they were a little more than that, but it's awesome that they are coming down. But honestly, I've done the I was just on the flip the flower and flip back, and that's worked well. How's it going, Dad? I even do it in my my little propagation tent. I have a tent that's 30 by 18 by 36, and I just run 10 plants in there on 12 quickly, see which are which, and then I select. Yeah. No, no. You'd have to put it onto the 12 for. And yeah, Kevin, you could do it that way, but I always waited till the plants were at least like this big, and then did it. So they would have 4 nodes. They would probably be about this big, about that tall, and then I would flip to check. And it took, like I said, one time it took 6 days, and the other time it took 8 days. And then the minute that you see them, select and flip back. Yeah. I don't know if a seedling will do it. I know if you took a clone, and then you put the clone in 12, it could flip during that period of time, but I don't know if a seed will until it gets to a certain point. No problem. I've just personally tried that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got some good genetics. Yeah, no, and here I'll show what I got going on in the flower location. Oh yeah, E-Town's doing just the same as the Juice Junkies. I won't show it, but it's and that's going to be a seed to harvest. So it's already this big. It's just starting it. Will still be a few months, of course. This girl's getting big. So, and even today when I was there, we're filling out to about here now. We're going to take it. It has the HLG. So I have a panel basically right here and right here. So I can actually do a full spread on this time. But again, this was my scrogging layer to make sure I spread it out, and then this layer is going to be for spreading, and then bringing out some of the leaves so I can get down at those lowers and just fill it in. Oh no, I haven't got any snow over here. It barely dips below freezing where I'm at. It's been cold. Like when I say it doesn't dip below freezing, what's up, Al? Hope we're doing well. We're often like 40 Fahrenheit, but about. Thanks, man. Where's my grow off? I'll show you that one. And I did do the leaf strip. That one I just showed you, that was with the fern leaf. That's called it's called Menthetacroco by Terpy Mutants Genetics. It's a cross. It uses the cannabis research company's berry freak cross. So that's where it gets that fern. No, it's not Freak Show though. It uses cannabis research company's Berry Freak, which is the same thing. It has that fern kind of leaf. Yeah. Here, let me show you guys. Kind of wish it didn't have that there. Of course, it has to freeze that frame. So it uses the menthol skunk V2 by Cannabis Research Company, which uses berry free cross with big menthol. I would totally show this. You just go to their website at terpies.eu. You can find it on there. But I'm not going to put that on my live stream because it chases the cart with you just to buy seeds. And I'm like, I'm not putting that on. Sorry, guys. Hey, Yuri. But yeah, if you go there, that's where you can find the information on it. So this is my grow off. I did do the leaf strip. And keep in mind, this plant was only veg for 60 days before flipping. This tent, we need a little more than 60 days. 65 days. We need about 80 days. That's why a lot of times I like to run them for about 70 before bringing them into this tent. But this has a deadline of March 1st. However, and it's already filling in when I was there today. We did do our leaf strip so we can start to build in our canopy. And this one's the picture isn't going to get clear enough because it's not too far away. But where are we? You can see slightly. This is a semi-hairless strain, hairless genetic. But I can't get it with the images I have right now. But yeah, that's where my stuff's at. Black Amnesia Haze. Actually, I can show you that too. That thing's taking up the tent like a beast. If Ragin's in the crowd, thanks, man. I think it's been a nightmare. So I did raise the light up. So I got some damage because the light was all the way down because I wanted to prevent the stretch from it wanting to chase the light, which worked. We aren't chasing light anymore. They're not going up anymore. But this is getting a little dense. What's that, skunk? You guys all good down there? I'm just trying to read the chat. You guys got hit by what happened? The storm? Hope everybody's all right. Cheers, man. Yeah, that tent. It's only 5'10", so it's gonna take a little bit. Yeah, my 3x3s, the one I just got the form stopper starting. It just got out of the soil today. Basically, I just filled up the humidifier and just took the little dome off and just set the humidity for about 70% just to get it going. And then once it grows bigger, we'll bring it down basically on the humidity. Eugene, how's your gardens? You guys are wondering why I'm not smoking as much right now? That's because we got new fire alarms and I'm just being careful with how sensitive it can be. So far, so good. The last one I beat off the ceiling and it's not doing good. Hey, Chronic, I got you set up. You can just unmute your mic when you're ready. Yeah, the last fire alarm was hardwired, and I hit it. I said, "Oh, so hard that it fucking knocked the wire out." So we haven't had a fire alarm until now. It's hardwired. It's one of those hardwire ones. There is no battery to it. And the last one got knocked out. But this one actually has been pretty good. It hasn't gone off, and I've been able to I can understand within reason. We're not gonna have a hookah in the living room, but it shouldn't be ridiculous. Yeah, right. I just been doing the fights right now. I'm not gonna be smoking joint after joint right now until I know. Yeah. Maybe I'll figure out how to get my door in here totally closed, and then for the dryer vent, I'll actually hook the thing back up so I can suck air out of this room directly out of the dryer vent instead of going through the house with the door closed. That would work.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Chronic Bone's back with the 4-grain crack.
Hey, looking good. Let me get you bigger here.
Yo, your chat be lighting up the Matt's green space tonight. Shout out to chat. Wow.
Yeah.
Dropping bombs, the fire thing, the bombs, the nuke thing, all that. Boom. Let's go.
Well, there was a crowd in the chat that came and left that was from another group. So.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the trolls. I'm talking about
all the okay.
Out there showing love. Yeah, dude. Your space is tight.
Yeah, cheers, man. I'm trying to. It's awesome having a good community of people that just want to help each other out.
Oh yeah, this is Matt's green space right here.
You're doing a really nice there on there.
If y'all ain't subscribed, sub up to Matt's green space.
Thank you, brother.
Anybody watching this in the future or live? But
dude, this is looking really good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm on day number 20. Let's see, 21 was Saturday.
You did your strip.
So yeah, so this is day 24. Yep, I did the swaz.
It's looking awesome.
The Schwaze.
Yeah, and so I just say defoliation whenever I say it, but yeah, I know that there's a particular word that people use.
Call it strip the shit out of it. That's pretty much what I did. It looked a lot more bare when I did it.
It does
than it does now. But have you seen the mutant bud?
Oh, nice. Is it 3 or is it just 2?
I think it's 2.
That's cool.
No. But this is a start. This is taking over the interwebs right now.
Yeah, man, that's looking cool. Yeah, I was wondering because sometimes you get the polyploid, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I've seen some wicked pictures of what they look like growing outdoors online.
Yeah, I had when I grew Chem Dog. This was a while ago before I insulated my space over at the other place. So, and it was my first time going into winter in that place without insulation. It got so cold that it mutated my Chem Dog. Like it changed. It definitely. I think that's what caused the mutation. Like or something it triggered a pre-existing condition because it was making 3 buds everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was wondering if it was
I was wondering if it was just that one branch because of all the tucking and plucking and stripping and topping and I've been doing on the thing to get it spread out.
Definitely, it could be something that happened to that one. Definitely to that one branch. That's thought because it's only right there, right?
Yeah, it's just that top, and that's I think one of the main. Yeah, or no, actually no. This is one of the branches down. Second branch down. It's not even the main branch. These little ones over here starting to catch up. Actually, that one in the back, which has always been the runt. The littlest one of the bunch has almost caught up with its bigger sibling. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
That one back there was the smallest one. It passed up who was in second place as far as length, but
it's nice that they're staying even. They're staying somewhat at the same level across the board when you actually bring it down to that level. Like, yeah, they are up and down a little, but...
Yeah, Levels was a little worried. Because this one, has always been a lot taller. He was really worried about these ones in the middle. But they caught up at least, and even passed up some almost... I went in the back did, but this other one's about level.
Well, they're gonna know that there's a plant on either side of it. They're gonna see the shade and avoid it, right? Shade avoidance response. So the plant's gonna be like, oh, there's shade on the other side. I need to grow high, and it will grow up a little faster to make sure it doesn't get overtaken because it wants to survive.
What's going on under there? Anything? Not much. See any worms moving around?
No, I don't.
I know they're in there.
They must have really liked it when did you put all your leaf strips in there?
Yeah.
Nice. They're already gone too.
Except for this last, except for the final schwas, because those my buddy that came over and helped me do this, all those leaves, he wanted to take them home and juice them. And I was like, go for it, bro.
There you go.
Because they already got so many leaves all through veg. It was insane. They ate. That's all they did was eat. Those worms did was eat leaves.
Now, from this point, though, you're not going to take any leaves off. It's about now. It's just a run
until day 43.
You could try. I've actually started to stay away from. Definitely, if you're going to do that, it would be a selective. It would just be open up bud sites, but it wouldn't be another strip.
Okay.
Because I've done that. I've went from being the one who does the regular, just a strip, and then the cleanup, and then I've done the whole strip to doing a secondary strip, like 2 weeks after the first strip. And all that ended up doing was stunting the overall growth of my plant by doing that secondary. that hard.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'll
have to
so
look
I've
at
gone
the
back to
original
doing
method, because that, you know who Smokey is, right? On the boards.
Yeah.
Scotland. Yeah, dude. He found like the origin of that Schwaz and or Schwaze, and I'll have to check that out again because I don't know if there's a later one that they do. If there's like 2 earlier ones that they do, but it's real similar to what we've been doing anyway. I was just curious, yeah. Yeah, it's
I've just noticed when you do the second one and you do the second one as hard as you did the first one, you get a stunted overall.
Yeah, I don't want to stun
growth.
them. Definitely don't want to stun them.
And I did it for
Not
2
a flower.
Yeah, and I did it for 2 or 3 runs just to see how it went out, and that's when my overall yields were decreasing in my 4x8 when I was doing that. And then when I went back to the old way, it ended up being, and again a little more. But the initial kind of strip does help bring up a lot of that lower canopy to fill in your canopy really dense, and it also brings down the light to the lowers, which I agree with. But secondary is the one I'm on the edge with now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you only learn by trying.
Yeah. That's all I've done is tried new things since I started this grow.
Exactly. That's how you learn.
From the tent on up.
Exactly. That's how you learn. Someone's asking
Fuzzy caterpillar.
It does look like that, doesn't it? Someone's asking which lights you're running again. I remember asking before. I can't remember though.
Yeah, the High Grove Cypress 8.
Cypress. Yeah.
Yeah, High Grove. I got the blue and the red and the green, I think. Yeah. Red and green. 800 watt lights, and I've now got them cranked up. Well, not right now, but when I'm not on camera, I crank them up to 100% now.
Yeah.
So with the distance away from that, which is about 2 feet from the canopy, right? I got them measured, and that makes it so that right at the top of the canopy, I'm getting just over 1,000 ppfE. So
nice.
As they grow into that, if I don't move them and I just let them grow into it, they're going to keep getting even more. But I'd like to try to keep it at 1,000. I don't know if I really.
Unless you're adding CO2, I wouldn't go much above that. I wouldn't go much above 9 without CO2.
Yeah. Oh wow. Even with fresh air coming in constantly, just from
where is the 10?
It's in my 10 by 10 bedroom, so that's the lung room or whatever, and I just leave the window open to bring in the fresh air, and that's what keeps it cool at night and brings down the humidity at night or day and night.
It might. And how close is this to where your living space is?
It's like right there.
You're living right beside it. No, but like where you are.
Oh, I'm just like in the next bedroom over.
Okay, because the amount of CO2 that you'll put off will probably I'm wondering because that's why it's somewhat beneficial to grow in your living space because you'll get the overall benefit of your exhaled CO2 over the day.
You know, I was wondering. So I heard that like propane burners help with that. Not that I'm going to get one, but
yeah.
What if you are always burning like a gas? One of those fake like gas fireplaces. I think it's natural gas.
The pilot light, yeah. The pilot light it will increase the CO2 in a room.
So it's not in the same room, obviously, but it's because it's in the living room. The fireplace is. But I was just wondering if like having that even running or the pilot light obviously is always running, but if that actually increased any CO2 in the overall house.
Yeah, it will. The pilot light
maybe
will.
a tiny bit, huh? Yeah. So I do have that too, along with the fresh air. So I don't know. I'd still like to try to keep it at about 1,000 at the tip of the canopy if I can. Maybe next run I'll get a little crazy and see what happens with, like, you know, going over that or whatever the case is. But
Well, exactly. If your plants, that's just a range, right? Plants have a range. A lot of different cultivars can handle things differently.
yeah.
So some plants will be able to handle it, but
yeah.
Another thing to make sure is you make sure your temperatures, like what do your temperatures go to, or how high?
So when the lights are on, it
Yeah.
never gets over 82.
Okay.
It never gets over that, and it gets as low as like 75 when it's, you know, when it's real cold in the middle of the night, bringing that fresh air in here. So yeah, that's where I've pretty much been maintaining. I'm basically after a VPD of 1.2, whether it's day or night. So my controller, even though it's not the AI one, is still like with how I've programmed it to exhaust at a certain temperature and then to humidify.
Oh, yeah. That was the wrong button. There you go.
Anyway, so yeah, 1.2 VPD.
The reason why I was asking about temperature of those as well is because if you're having the lights at that high, but your temperature at least is low like that, you're not going to have that, because you're not going to have the risk of your plant's stomata taking in oxygen instead of CO2. That can happen at increased temperatures. Your plant can accidentally take in an oxygen molecule instead of carbon dioxide and kick back in the robuscus system. So when your temperatures go high, that's why a lot of times elevated CO2 is needed then too. So you might be able to get away with that, having a lower temperature with that PPFD on your plant.
Gotcha. That's crazy of the science.
Yeah.
What PPFD are we talking about?
He's at 1,000 right now on his plants.
Yeah, at the top.
All right. I'd feel comfortable at 85. Without CO2, I'd still feel comfortable at 85 on the temp.
There you go.
It never gets over 82.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you might just have...
As soon as that exhaust kicks on, it brings it down. It stays on until it brings it down to at least like 79, and then warms back up. So I'm going down 79, but in the cold, the coldest part of the night, it's probably like 75.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, with elevated temp,
do you see this here on the pistils? How it looks a little orange or brown? Is that just it maturing as it's growing, or is that because when I had the light lower, it did that to that because I had the light lower at 100%?
You might have bumped it too with your
when
shirt.
you're leaving.
Oh yeah, somebody was actually telling me that happens because all the defoliant that I did, right? When I did the strip, all the ones that I bumped. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, somebody did tell me about that.
Yeah,
I was worried that I did something, so I raised the lights up and then measured it, and then took the PPFD reading. So, oh well, we're good, I guess.
If your hairs recede and it's not from pollen, that's fine because the hairs are just there to receive the pollen. So if you beat up the hairs and they get tapped by leaves, and a lot of people get weird, like they think that bud's like not going to make it if it doesn't have hairs on it, and the only purpose is to catch pollen.
Gotcha.
End up 420.
That must be Wesley Pipes again, spitting the knowledge. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Wes.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have him come up. But yeah, no, they'll do that when you bump them. But just like Wes said, that's their only thing. Have you ever noticed that if you do bump them, that the bracket itself doesn't swell anymore, or does that still continue in your experience?
No, if you mess the hairs up, the plant's still going to mature and brax out and swell.
Even with that, because every bract has the pistil.
Right. Well, the hair, the pistil, stomata, whatever it is, the hair.
The stomata are the fine hairs on the side of the pistil.
All right. So what? Okay. So the white hair is connected to the
Yeah.
The bracts. That's just because every hair makes a seed. Like every hair that gets pollinated,
Yeah.
it turns into a full seeded brax.
Yeah. But if the hairs that are attached to that bract itself get damaged, does that bract still continue to grow even if those hairs, or does it just build another bract next to it to take its place?
Yeah, it'll just mature on its own like it would. You just
Okay.
won't see the hairs recede back and then the bracts swell. It'll just kind of do it underneath that damaged hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that had damage not produce a good looking nug at the end. Nah, it looks great, dude. It's all trellised at the perfect height. Everything's not moving.
I do need to put up a second one though. Probably right where that crease is, eh?
Maybe I would like shake this one and see how sturdy the plants are. Like they look like they got pretty thick stalks.
They do. They're real stiff on the, real bouncy, that kind that's real springy kind of stems.
I don't think that's going to need any more support. But if you are only in the first few days of flower, then
Depends on how heavy they get, right?
right. You could put on some donkey dicks.
That'd be awesome, dude.
You're well on your way. What soil?
First indoor grow.
What?
I just shit myself every day. Can't believe it.
Replant in my soil.
So,
You do the no-till, don't you?
Use it 3 times and then do a soil test.
because it's living soil.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
he's
Wesley
asking.
does.
He's asking, what do you do with your soil after you're done?
Oh, gotcha. I don't know. I have to find out from you guys what the hell I should do.
That's what Wes just said to do. Use it 3 times and then
3
do a
times,
soil
okay.
test.
Soil
Yeah,
test
do your
and then
top
go from there.
dressing. Top dress. You can get away with it about 3 times before things get a little wacky, and then on your 3rd run, if you have enough soil, like knock it out into a big pile, and then do a soil test for your whole pile of soil. If you're in small pots, it's not really worth like trying to take a bunch of samples off of 10-gallon pots and send it in.
And then Galaxy was wondering what type of soil are you using inside
So
your...
I started it with the base soil that I started is called Build a Soil 3.0. And
Damn,
you
you
can
went-
do
you
water
went on
only
a-
apparently with just that. So I was like,
Yeah.
so I tested it out, ran one plant, but I didn't flower it. I didn't grow it inside. I just vegged it inside, and I didn't even have the tent yet. So I didn't even have the right VPD. And then I threw it outside to flower. And then when that was done, I was so amazed because I didn't add anything. It was literally just water only. I was so shocked at how good that plant turned out that I was sold on the earth box method. And then that's when I got the tent, the lights, more earth boxes, all the shit, right? And did what I did here. And just found the channels and found the community, and it's just been a lot of fun. And so that was how it all started, with just the base soil 3.0. Now obviously with this run, I'm doing more. I'm adding, right, top dressing with their craft blend and their I got so much shit. I just went ham. I got their horticultural coconut, their aloe. I got their Big Six, their Push and Pea, their Ocean Blend. I got Q-Yaha extract. That's more of just the wetting agent. But I got stuff for sugars and microbes and
You got a shelf?
ferments, and I got enzymes, and I got the whole 9.
Hear you.
Yeah, so I'm just following their Earthbox method, not the water only method anymore. This time I'm following the Earthbox method, where you kind of follow their living soil process, and it shows you what to add and when to add throughout the whole grow. And that shows what the top dress and
Yeah, try to find the law of minimum is what I would recommend. Is
less is more, right? Yeah.
Yeah, go
And if
for
you
the
do-
least amount of everything that you can use and still get that awesome result instead of going
and if
like
you do-
gung ho 15 mil a gal. Go 2 mil a gal.
And if you do accidentally go ham, you're not really going to hurt it as much as because it does take time to break down. Like I remember that Ocean blend, it said to add, I don't know, it was like 4 teaspoons or something like that, and I added 4 like tablespoons instead. So I was like, whoops. But it was fine. These plants have looked beautiful the whole way run through, and this is my first run, so I am trying to be careful, but that was the only.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful with heavy-handed.
Yeah.
I totally hear you when you were talking about naming off all the nutrients. I have done the same thing. That's what that cabinet is.
Yeah, the Kashi bed, the Kashi bloom. It's kind of fun though. It allows me to kind of tinker. I mean, not like you guys do with the whole PC and pH and feeding, 14 times a day. Or
I only do twice a day on my Big Ten. That's the most. No, but I get you.
It seems so just out there to be, like a mad scientist, but it's fun,
Well, it's the same kind of way with the organics. I mean, you just named a whole bunch of supplements.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to use them and what their mode of action is.
Yeah.
Like you named like coconut and aloe. Those two alone, like you could do a 3-hour presentation on the benefits of the two of those alone.
Right.
And the different pathways that they open up, the different, you mentioned an enzyme. Enzymes create metabolites, secondary metabolites.
Yeah, this is enzymes. I think here, this biocatalyst enzyme elixir by Rootwise.
Yeah, a lot of the enzymes that you give to plants, you're going to break down the material in the roots of
Biophos.
Oops.
Wasn't this guy? I didn't set mine off yet.
I'll turn on the air purifier.
I actually just got a new fire alarm in here, so so far I've been okay without setting it off. So it's like I don't know its limit.
Right? Throw a blanket over it, a wet towel.
What is it? Oh, some barley?
Gnarly barley, yeah, I've been giving it that.
Yeah, so hey, I just saw 2 redundancies.
Oh, I was just grabbing shit.
What do you say?
Some of the stuff I
Hold
know.
on.
So you had Rootwise enzymes, and then you just showed gnarly barley.
Which is also for enzymes, yeah.
That's an enzyme. That's anything that you malted just means sprouted. Anything sprouted seed-wise, they get it to the highest enzyme count for like making beer. Because proteins turn to carbs, carbs turn to sugar, sugar turns into alcohol.
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking for in your soil. So I recommend not buying even an enzyme product. Like we've talked about this before. Like just sprout some seeds, go to the grocery store and get get whatever you can and sprout a little bit and grind it up after 3 days. And man, you have a potent enzyme. And during that sprouting process, you're also collecting indigenous microbes from the air, different beneficial yeasts and bacterias and fungus that's in your house or your area. And it's intelligent. So you put that into your system and then it turns on and fires all sorts of processes. They're like, you can't get enzymes from a different place and expect it to, I mean, it'll work, but you're not going to get those nuances. Like our food should be grown in our local area as well. And,
right.
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
far off.
interesting. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that.
So I
The
put
whole
my front.
DIY thing. My buddy's more like that. He wants to like. He looks at the stuff that I bought and he's like, yeah, I could probably make this. I could probably make this. I just gotta do this. He's more of the DIY kind of guy. I'm more of the YDI kind of guy. Like you do it. So I appreciate some people putting this all together for me to just be lazy. I'm not getting old. I don't know, bro. Smoke too much or something. I don't know.
So this is how my philosophy on it is that I used to grow hydro. I used to like the control, the work, the time that it spent to pH and mix everything. I like that. And then when I got into organic, it went from synthetic to synganic, and then it went organic, like KNF crazy, where I was like you just said, your buddy likes to do everything. I can make that. I can grow the aloe plant instead of freeze dried aloe. And then it got to a point where I just wanted like hands off. I want to be able to do the least amount of things in my garden and let it kind of do its own thing. And so now I don't make any of the ferments anymore. Like there's just a lot of work.
Oh, ferments. Yeah, I got this one here. This pumpkin one. This is pretty cool. See this?
Just be careful with these ferments because this is lactis bacillus, and they'll outcompete like a bunch of the other things that you're putting in your soil. So if you're like doing the root wise, and then you're doing the top dressing with the bokashi, and then that product, you're tailoring a lot of bacteria, a lot of lactis bacillus.
Let me show you the feeding schedule because he has it broken down to only do certain things, a certain amount of certain things at certain times of the. I don't know how well you can see it, but so like right now I'm in the.
It's hard to see.
But I'm in like the full bloom now, or no, I'm still in. So this is weeks 1 through 4 for bloom stretch, and then full bloom is right here, weeks 5 through 8. But anyways, like right here, I'm not. It's like. It just says a handful is needed of corn castings, but that's it. All the rest of the top dressing isn't there anymore. And now it's just the water soluble ones, like the holy cow and the peach and this holy cow stuff here. I think it's on there still. Holy cow.
That's the kefir product, right?
More of that. That's a Thrive product.
Or Thrive Agrotech.
Yeah. So now it's just going to be it just says 3 or 2 ounces of this. Coconut, aloe vera.
Yeah, you can make that, take that coconut and just put it in water and drink it too.
Yeah. I heard we like it and the plants like it. It's just like for everybody. It's awesome.
Yeah, I believe in like World War II they used
I like
it.
coconuts too, man. I like those coconut drinks that you get. They mix it and put the umbrellas and shit in there.
It's an acquired flavor for some, for sure.
Which
like
one?
With a little alcohol, I guess. I don't know. I don't condone,
But they used to use it as blood transfusions in the war.
What?
Coconut water.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, has like the same properties as blood. I don't know too much more about it.
You'd want to make sure it was in clean water, though.
Well, if it's I think it's fairly sterile, like the juice of a coconut. Like if you're careful with your extraction process, it's pretty much sterile inside the coconut.
Yeah.
And it's full of enzymes. I mean, it's the biggest seed.
Nice. Yeah, you went and you got older stuff.
I gotta feed them this stuff here still too. This Build a Bloom and the Big 6 for the micros.
So I'm going to be running earth boxes, but I'm going to do them a little different.
All you
I didn't know what to do, so I'm just following this, hope, praying that it works out, and so far so good. It's been such a blessing.
Is that so it's easier to move around than your big other things were?
Yeah, you can't do anything. Well, watering got crazy too.
How big were those beds?
They were over a yard each.
Yeah, they're big.
400 gallons, something like that each. Yeah.
It's going to be easier to deal with the boxes, I think, for sure.
Yeah, and I've just had really great success with some like homemade earth boxes with some, it was like straight peat moss in it. Like I didn't even have perlite or pumice, which I don't like perlite, but whatever. I just put raw minerals and nutrients in the peat, like azomite and kelp meal and all the different meals, oyster shell, whatever, all the down to earth stuff.
Yeah,
and it ran like a hydro setup.
Yeah, they grow fast.
Compost is on top. So I'm thinking about doing that because I had like, again, I've said it before, it was deep water culture growth.
Yeah, you had fast growth for your system. I remember them.
Inorganic. Well, no, this was before.
Oh, before those.
This was right before I started. Well, I was doing my YouTube in the beginning, and then when I had my garden broken into, I stopped posting for whatever 3 years. And in that 3 years is where I ran those SIPs. And then I moved, and then I got a VPN, and then I started posting again with the beds again. And I had a few SIPs, but I had russets at that point. And hop latent came in, and I didn't know what it was, and
that's what you were fighting in the middle. I remember all that.
Yeah, I was just reminiscing on my Instagram because the way bottom, the first photos, is those sips. I had a buddy come over with a camera and just take Canopy shots, and my wife, she like Photoshop, like made them sexier, took the hairs off them and everything because each bud had a big cat hair. Like heart piece on them, so she popped it all out, and that was the russet mites and the sip containers I made, and the flower looks just stunning. Like it came out so good for dealing with russets. You can't even tell, but then once I moved and started over, it was just, they were everywhere. I couldn't get them out of my gear.
Yeah, it's nice when you grow something and it's like really crazy that you like looking at and actually like print off the pictures and stuff.
Yeah, they were gorgeous. Wesleyan, deep water culture, PhD.
I took this picture of one of mine and I actually made this into a photograph.
It's stunning. That's like what they look like. There's nice big thick leaves too. Like you could just tell it was happy.
Yeah. No, it's like that's funny that you were saying that. I was like, yeah, I didn't go through and do the nice editing detail though to it. That would have been pretty cool to do. But
yeah, she just like made the background, I think, blurry and some contrast. Nothing too much, like nothing where people are like no filter hashtag.
Oh, was it just taken on your cell phone or something?
No, he had like a really nice lens.
Okay.
Buddy, he did photography for like different companies.
Yeah.
Like for products. So he just came and snapped some photos, and she zoomed in on him, and it was so clear.
Yeah, that's cool.
They were incredible, but yeah, it's way at the bottom of the page, so nobody sees it anymore.
Matt,
what's up?
We're gonna do a live watering. This is how sick earth boxes are, dude. This is the sickest part about, like, especially with new growers. Typically, right, the watering is a problem. With the earth box, what I do, even though I'm using peat, and then that typically our earth box doesn't call for peat, but with that 3.0, it works as long as you only dump water down there when it's dry. So I got a little flashlight. I already shined the light down there. It's dry. I don't see a drop of water in there. And it's usually drinking that about 2 gallons a day or every other day right now anyways. But I got 2 gallons in here ready to go. I got this from the hardware store, so auto store or something. And yeah, just fill her up.
Nice. And then you just measure it out for the size that you need in their jug.
Yeah, they have a drain hole too, so if they get overflow.
If you overdo it, yeah. But I already have got it figured out where I sat there and like drop. Oh, nope. It's between 2 and 2.5. It starts to overflow every time.
So I was putting kombucha in my reservoir as well that run.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like EM1. It's lactobacillus, so you have a non-oxygen rich reservoir. So you put the facultative EM microbes, which is pretty much kombucha. I mean, it's anaerobic, aerobic. I believe that the earth box is.
Because I probably had 2.5 in here. That's why. I usually if I do that 2, then yeah.
They allow you to have the what's the word I'm looking for? Two different sets of microbes. Your aquatic microbes and then your soil microbes, because you have that aquifer at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, dude, there's something primal about this system.
I know, it's something true.
It just grows like the same plant that you've grown in different systems. It will look like a jungle plant in these systems. It just takes them and explodes the genetic potential.
Strange.
And when you can keep a mycelial mat under that cover with the compost layer and then a little bit of grains and your top dressing amendments with the bokashi, it just keeps the plant in this perfect balance of nutrition, nutritional delivery, and immune response. And it just kicks it off. And so when it's in a peat moss, because your 3.0 is pretty heavy soil, meaning it has a lot of compost in it.
Yeah.
So that's going to slow down that growth a little bit. So when I was talking about running it with just peat with the minerals and then the compost on top, it works as a biological hydroponic like race car. And there's been a lot of people, Kevin Jogery in particular, who has used these to nurse sick plants back to health, to then take cuts off of them, off the new growth, and then put these in the system to clean and scrub pathogens and viruses, or at least put them in enough remission to where they're not really popping up in a few generations of stress.
In the earth boxes?
In these earth boxes with the mycelium mat on top.
Nice.
Because that mycelium is intelligent. So it's keeping the plant's immune system at peak potential, plus the genetic potential and the nutrient delivery. It's just doing the work and pHing everything. And then it has access to fresh water that has nutrition. So it can just drink, and then it can just be fed that nutrition on the perfect level. And then those microbes get fed at the end of the day from the root exudates. So if you're following along with the Build-A-Soil, this goes to B-Lane, self-irrigated auto pot. Build-A-Soil, he's doing the side-by-side with the auto pots in a little teeny bed, like a no-till bed, fabric grassroots. And
is that the tray to grow?
Yeah, the tray to grow. And he's finding that it's staying too wet now at the end of flower, where he's starting to get a bunch of kind of deficiencies in the plants, like throwing out some burnt spots on some leaves, and
Interesting.
so he's going to put a valve to do some drybacks. And so the beautiful thing about the earth box is it's pretty much that without a reservoir. You can control the mild drybacks or just keeping it perfectly moist. And then when you're watching your reservoir, the plant will tell you. If you're watching your reservoir, you'll notice that you're going from 2 gallons every day or two to 2 gallons in a week at the end.
Yeah, I love. I like those trader grows. Brad from Arizona Grows. He runs them. He loves them. He's got a channel, and he puts in there cocoa. He does like cocoa and hummus,
Like
and all his amendments and stuff.
Like those grow dots, like that's pretty much what Scotty's system is like an under bottom reservoir hydroponic cocoa bucket that has a float to keep the reservoir full.
An even lazier way would be just to get a reservoir, and then I can just pump when it goes dry. I can just pump 2 gallons of water down the chute instead of grabbing the water jugs and doing it myself. But it's at least cool to be able to open up the tent every day and check it, check to see which one is dry. And
well, I think so. I was just listening to Bodie Seeds, Plant More Seeds. Bodie, he's an OG. He's traveled all over. He's like a super sweet-hearted Zen kind of guy. He's just super spiritual. He was on the podcast, and he's talking about how, like, not that any of us get guilty. Maybe you do. You get guilty about the love affair that you have with this plant. And he was saying that, like, it's okay. It's okay to be in love with this plant, like as much as your kids and your family and your parents, because this plant has been here for 15,000 years. Like it was here when man, started to become man. So it's been found like in Egyptian tombs, like seedless stalks of buds in pharaohs' tombs with them. So, like, we've kept this plant super close in our journey.
It's been documented.
I want to be buried. Shit.
It's been documented for at least 5,000 years in the Chinese culture too, under Ma, for cannabis.
Yeah. Kevin Jodry was talking about it. He went to Pakistan on his trip, and he asked them, like, because they're like 3,000, 2,000 years they've been there, their family, and he says, like, do you guys bring it with you or what? And they were like, it was here when we got here. Like, that's all we can tell you is that, like, everywhere you go back in history, they're just like, it was already here. It was already with us. I mean, it's just insane to think that it's one of the only things, and it expresses the most, like.
It expresses with the plants and the other things that are around it. That's why it tastes so different, because it tastes with whatever plants are around.
Oh,
you get so many different terpenes and stuff because of whatever plants.
Yeah.
Well,
So
but the crazy thing is that it locks down those traits. So Kevin Jodry just talked about this. You can go find it. I believe it was on the Future Cannabis Project. It was on Instagram. No, it was on Instagram on Dutch Blooms. It was an amazing talk. He was talking about how when it's grown in all these different places, like you just said, it picks up all of these traits from the land, the smell, the people, the selection, the air, the soil, the minerals, and how much nutrients it needs, like in the high desert, the high mountains and everything, the Afghans, they don't like nutrients because they come from very shitty soil.
Yeah.
And so they've managed to evolve into being able to do what they do in that climate. But
Wow.
so then this plant locks down traits and smells and experiences and the people's vibes. And then when you grow it in Canada, and it's from Thailand, it still holds that trait, that seed, that experience. It's, you know, it might pick up nuances from you,
Like in
but
its
it's not
memory
gonna
history,
fully, it's
right?
not going to fully change. It's decoded like in its DNA now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you get the different variety is just from that itself.
But that's just amazing that like you grow weed in a pine forest and it tastes and smells like pine, and then somewhere down the line you grow that outside of a pine forest and it still smells like pine forest and tastes like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Did you see that that live show the other day? I think it was on maybe AC Infinity's channel, the YouTube channel. The guys that were doing the photographs,
No.
like the really close pictures. I think again was on there too, and some other maybe.
Oh, macro photos.
Yeah, they were doing like some photos, and they were also saying some things about like the red stems and how that means that the plant isn't getting enough light or something like that. Is that true?
I don't know about red stalks on the trichomes. There's a lot of different factors. It could be UV, it could be maturity, it could be pigment.
Did you mean on the trichomes or mean on the plant?
I forget what they were talking about, the trichomes or the actual stem of the leaf. I forget exactly.
If you have a purple stem, you definitely have nutrient problems.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
to
he
do.
had said that he learned, you know, well, because he has more of just like a photography background, but he had learned that from someone or something, and he shared that. I was like, that's interesting. So I was just wondering if anybody else had heard that or what he was actually talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if it's stems, you definitely got some pH problems. Oh, so the whole spiritual thing, I was meant to bring it into, it's good that you need to go in and be with your plants because they give you what you give them. And so that just little bit of consciousness that you're in tune with your plant's feeding cycle, it means that you're paying attention. And automated's great, and you still have to pay attention, but like hand watering a plant, there's just something with the connection that the plant understands, and it look forward to it. Like they've strapped different like lie detector probes in machines to plants, and they watch the spikes when you interact with the plant or the person who's with that plant all the time is around, or other people come in, or when they say certain things. They've documented so many things about how intelligent and how with the sponge they pick up these things, and even to the fact that there was a podcast where they test the nutrition of the food, and they talk to different foods about what these different people need and want from the food they're growing. So different nutrition factors and different health things that they want. And when they tested these specific plants for these people, they all had different higher nutritional levels in the things that these people asked the plants for, and said like, this is what I would like help with. I mean, that's crazy.
That's awesome, though. I like that. You know, and it's true because, like, you know, this is the first time I've had a tent so this is the first time I've ever done the scrog and all that, and it gave me anxiety at first because I wasn't able to get in there and get close to my plants, and really, really be with them like I'm used to when I've done all my other grows, which really have just been outdoor, but still, I was always going out there and playing with the plants and checking out the plants and, feeding the plants, watering the plants, just whatever, misting down the plants. And so, yeah, it kind of gave me, I was having like, separation anxiety with the whole scrog thing. It was keeping me out of there.
Yeah, I hate them.
I know you do.
There you go. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
Yeah, I don't want to be a gymnast when I need to trim my plants either.
Look, you can't limbo.
Yeah, I did it for so many years. I got into the trellises, and then life was just so rough.
You use stakes and stuff now, don't you?
Leaning over. No, I used to use stakes, dude. I had like 3 5-gallon buckets full of stakes in the corner of my room. Each pot would have like how many tops would be on a plant? 20.
Yeah.
There'd be 20 stakes with little twist ties, 2 sets of twist ties on every single branch in 10-gallon pots. That's how I used to grow.
Shit. I can imagine what it looked like when you weren't using them. There's big stack.
There's some photos of some rooms of stakes. And I've taken some in the eye, like 2 scary times.
Oh, really?
Like almost took my eye out, where I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yeah, you gotta put little pool noodles on the end or something.
Dude, it was like 2,000 stakes.
That would look silly, huh? With a bunch of noodles on top. Yeah. But the yo-yos, right? They use those too, I've seen.
So when I had HPS hoods, they had glass, so they had 4 nuts that would like hold the glass up. I would take sewing twine and I would wrap it around the nut quick, and then I'd go to a bud, wrap it around a bud, and then snap it off. And I'd keep the roll in my pocket, and I'd just roll it out, tie it up, pop, pop, and I would just have this sea of teeny thin little, and then the buds would just grow right around the thin little string. And then during harvest, you'd cut it and slide it out. No, not simple. I used to make something out of that, and you would cut it, and it would like put tinsel everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was
during the.
Sorry. No, finish what you're gonna say.
No, that was it. That you could do it all by hand. You could pop and snap. You didn't need a tool. It all went to just this center web. And then at harvest, I would just cut and then flip whole plants and then pull the string out, like hang a whole plant upside down and then pull the strings out, cut and de-leaf a little bit and kind of, thin things out because we didn't do a lot of pruning like you cats now.
And like I said, I try to make sure I stick to doing the one and then don't do it again because I've stunted my plants there for a couple of those runs.
What do you think, Wesley? Should I strip these again on day 40, 43 or whatever?
No.
Let it ride.
No, with these systems, you want to leave a decent amount of leaf on because it's intelligent. It knows what nutrients stored in its leaves it has at what day it wants to start sucking that back and using it. And if you're pulling and photosynthesis has to happen to keep up with nutrient demand, and you need leaf for that. Buds don't swell by getting light. The leaf protects the plant, and the plant puts on more trichomes. So a lot of people think like the UV light needs to get on your bud. It's not the UV light hitting the trichomes and making more trichomes. It's hitting the leaf and telling the plant, this UV stress is hard. I gotta put more resin to protect my seed to not get fried from this light. And so that's all happening. There's a fine line of too much leaf and not enough leaf.
How does this look? Okay. so far with what I've done.
It looks
Oh,
On the
yeah.
21 strip.
If you're not really having a lot of overlap, to me that's perfect.
And what about the larf? Is it at least something that's good to do to help avoid the larf?
I mean, you're pruned up all the way like that. You shouldn't have any.
No, not me, but like typically, like when you're doing this method or whatever, the Schwaze.
I mean, I think just good pruning habits is essential. I know it doesn't have to be a swaz,
Yeah.
but like take your lower. Like I always do things late because I want the plant to set up. Like I'll take the bottom branches that I know aren't going to stretch up to my canopy, but as they're setting buds, I'll wait till I have dime size white hairs, like pinky size white hair clusters. And I'll follow that down the plant till they start getting smaller. And then I take everything down from there and I thin out some fan leaves and I pull some things out. And maybe I'll do a little defanning 3 weeks after that. And that's it. We're done.
Okay.
All the work should be already done. And then, you gotta go and like take those like tomato suckers, like little branches in the middle that aren't gonna stretch up and in and kind of fill out the middle. Plant structure. Some plants know how to grow and don't do that, and some you really gotta thin out.
Yeah.
But I used to think like topping a plant was hurting it, like for real. Like had battles with friends.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do a lot.
The dead
This is
unit.
all new to me, so it was a struggle for me to adjust to all this too. All the the bending and the tucking and the plucking I was doing and the training. I was like, what am I doing? This is not what I'm used to. I'm used to babying my babies,
The dead unicorn that I grew, it was a good example of a plant that I took too many leads off. I did too many times. I'll show you. See how going up these stems, there really wasn't very much growth. The plant itself was like there was a lot on it just because it was so big, but they're very small all the way up because I did the foliation the first one and then did the one 2 weeks later and did the huge strip out the second time.
Did they stack? Have you grown it again or before that?
No, but the clone, Shore High and Raging grew. This is a clone from them, and remember how big theirs was. Remember how big theirs was in the 3x3. This was a clone off of that. So to give you an example, I stripped it too hard, and it really stunted the growth of it.
You guys have the same lights?
No, this is my HLG, so it should have been fine.
I mean, those differences do matter, though. Like color of spectrum is going to make it different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you have it? You're going to grow it again?
No, I probably won't grow it again. No. He had the clone's not around anymore, so it was something that we already did.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. If you saw it and thought it was a problem, then it probably was.
I just noticed nothing really started to grow again after that second strip, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of always trying to like keep itself alive at that point.
Right.
That was that last that.
Some like it, some don't. I mean, it really is.
I do like the week 3 though. Doing the big, I do like the big, because as long as you're not taking the leaves off of the buds that are already forming. At that point, you have your plant, you have all your buds.
Exactly.
You have your leaf that's coming off your branch, and then you got your leaf sets that are coming off the buds. Take the one off the branch. Don't touch these ones. You touch these ones, you just fuck the whole
Right.
bud. Yeah. So you want to take the ones off of just the branch, and that's the best time to do it because those are all going to just get in the way. The new ones that are coming in with those new bud sets are what are going to be filling in and taking up your whole fucking tent.
Well, that was the thing, is you would wait till week 3 because your plant has set all of its structure. Like, there's people that go in and go in and go in and go in, and it's like, dude, the plant's not, like, just let it tell you when it's done stretching and filling out, and then you clean up that one time and see what happens from there.
Well, and that's what I did to that dead unicorn, because I was always trying to keep on top of it, and I was just like, oh yeah, there's gonna be leaves underneath it, but you still need to think about the plant's the whole biology of what it's doing is getting, like you said, to certain stages before you want to be doing that, or you're going to interrupt it.
Yeah, and I like to strip the plant fully down the day I flip in the flower, like all the way up to one little stemlet to like a little set.
Yeah,
like 3 leaves, like bloop, bloop, and a new growth. And so
you do that, eh?
Of stem to little teeny toplets. I mean, it looks like it's straight out of Dr. Seuss. And then from there, everything explodes off the tops. And then I keep bottom pruning and just letting the top shoot out and stretching the plant out a little bit. And then I let it set up and then I thin it out.
Now, would you suggest this for people who are doing, like, let's say with me, where you have a single plant in a 4x4 area? Would you suggest doing that with that? Because it's going to shoot out its tops, or is this more for someone that has, like?
Yeah, I think this is everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't do the one right on flip. I do the one on week 3, but like you do it. You just said you do it. I know that Carl does it, and like you guys both have great gardens when they're complete. Like they always look awesome.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering.
What we did, he does it obviously for for a thing. And that's what I did for years. So you learn like what to do and when to do it, because you're in there all day, and you can't be like, you got other rooms to tend to. You're running trim people. You're cloning. Like you got a life. So you learn what to do, when not to do it, and I did it in the hydro setup, in the synganic, and in the living soil. And yeah, you always just take all that crap off, flip the flower, and then she just explodes off the top.
Maybe I'll try that.
You're not like waiting for little branches to come up. Like I'll have a full plant, leaves and all, and then I'll just strip it down. I've never had them like freak out.
Yeah, it's about timing. It's about the timing, just like you said, right?
Yeah, and the hormones aren't building up for the first few days. So you strip it, it's fine because it's going into a 12-12, but it's not 3 or 4 days in like a mom making a baby where she's getting sick and throwing up and then she's dizzy. Like that doesn't happen for a few days in. So you catch it on these hormonal cycles. It seems crazy to talk like that, but there's a bunch of midwives who grow some of the best herb you like shit you dream about. I mean, they're on another level because they understand the fertility, they understand the feminine, but they understand the herbs and they feed the herbs like dragonfly earth medicine. They feed fertility herbs to their plant, like raspberry leaf. Like, go grab some raspberry leaf and dry it out and grind it up. Get some nettle. Get some oat straw. There's a few other ones. But yeah, those are all amazing things that just can be wildcrafted that will make your female plant go crazy.
Nice. All right, that's cool.
I'm getting pumped up to grow again.
Yeah, you are?
Dude,
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm ready.
When is the start date? Do you have a plan already set?
I'm not cheap, so I have like a $700 cart between like Build a Soil, Organics Alive, and something else. AC Infinity, because I need some inline fans and charcoal filter and a damper.
Yeah.
And I want the Pro. And then I gotta get the 2 earth boxes. Then I gotta get all the minerals and the EM1 and the compost and the bokashi. And I got lights. That's a heavy
that
light.
shit's not cheap, huh? I found that out.
And then the Organics Alive. I'm going all Organics Alive.
Nice.
I have some of their shit. I have the pink shit. Right here.
Oh man, it's so good.
I got the pink shit.
Oh yeah, you got a big bag of the pink.
It's only pink because that's how they differentiate what their their products or whatever.
Yeah, it's like beet juice or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I would go light on everything else and just heavy with the Organics Alive.
I need to get some more of their stuff. That's the only stuff I have from them.
Dude, this shit's amazing. They're VCal liquid 2 mil a gal. And
What about their fulvic acid, or is it the amino acids, or?
Yeah, they have an humic amino that was on the list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a fulvic as well, but your soil's creating fulvic acid. So,
Have you ever tried the spray, the tweet mint spray that you can spray on the plant? I think it's in veg that you do that though. I don't know if it's veg or flower. It's called tweet mint.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm curious. I've never seen anybody do it, but Jeremy on one of his videos.
Oh, if he's cool with it, then I'm cool with it. For the most part, I mean, there's some things that people are selling that under the microscope don't help the situation in the soil. If you're going for soil microbes, one being neem.
Being what?
Neem.
Putting neem seed meal in your soil.
Yeah.
Isn't very good.
What about that mustard seed?
I can't imagine that's doing anything good as well. Like, I mean, it's pretty good for keeping the bad guys away, but you're probably sterilizing everything at that point.
Putting the neem meal into the soil, is it actually putting azaractin into the soil though?
No, that chemical. I mean, it's in there, but it's not. It's not like an azadirachtin like product. Like a spray would be worse because you're getting the drip off your leaves into your media. So really, anything you're spraying could be affecting your soil system as well.
It's just it just is. It does a really good job on molting insects. It prevents them from molting and it kills them. And the only negative study that was done was actually based on a study on rats, and it was found that it may pass the placental lining, and it was done in a rat study. It was not done in a human study.
Right.
So, and that's the basis of all things where people all negative talk about that chemical itself. That's why we can't get it in Canada. But it does a good job on getting rid of insects.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's the president calling.
But yeah, no, it's just and that's why we're not allowed to. You can't use it up here in Canada for anything. I know down in the States that's if you can.
Yeah.
But I would never use it as oil based. I would just use a concentrated form like Azamax or Asgard. I wouldn't use the neem oil or meal.
Okay. Smell a little bit. Yeah.
The turfs are starting to come off on that now?
Yeah.
That's always a good time.
I mean, it's not real loud when I walk in the room yet, but if I'm touching it and smelling it, I can smell a lot more than I could a couple weeks ago. Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, it will start coming on pretty hard now. You're week 4, right? Going to week 4.
Day 23.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in the
24?
beginning
Day
of week.
24?
You're in the beginning of week 4. So that's when you're gonna start getting. It's just gonna turf out from now. That's good that it's showing up right away. It means you're gonna have a nice one.
Yeah. And that one in the back there that was the smallest over here.
Yeah.
I was kind of mean about that plant because I was all butthurt about not being able to get back there and defoliate it and strip it and stuff. And then I found it. I just wiggled my way back there, eventually a couple times, and I finally did it. And I think it was mad at me for just saying, "Oh, I don't care about that one. I'm just gonna let it go, let it be back there. I can't get to it, and blah blah blah." But then after I went in there and showed it some love, now look at it. It's even bigger than the other one as far as height wise. Kind of funny, that whole connection thing that Leslie was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's really smart when it comes to like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin, to answer your question, that is a good level. I wouldn't go too much higher than that, but that's a good level.
What's he saying?
Oh, he's asking about VBD for wheat 4 flour.
1.4.
Yeah. He's in a good range. He's on the high end. He's on the high of the good range.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay for daytime VPD. I'm gonna stay at 1.2 until I get to week 5, and then week 5 through 8, I'll go up to 1.5, and then ripening, which is week 9 plus, I'll be at 1.8. And those are just my daytime VPDs that I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, and that's what the nutrient package says, where it says ripening for the last 2 days, the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's just
I remember
build
that.
a soil way for the environmental protocol for indoor growing that I'm following.
Yeah.
They got the whole breakdown. Like I got the chart. I showed you the whole feeding thing. Then there's another chart. I don't have it printed out. I just have it on my screen here, and it's basically their environmental protocol for indoor growing, and it shows like growth stage, weeks, how many light hours on, light hours off, a PTFE for the low and high end range, the DLI for the low and high end range, and then the temp, humidity, VPD for both day and night. So it's pretty sick.
That's cool. They do give you a bunch of information.
Yeah, like as a new indoor grower, right?
Yeah,
All I did
no.
was say, okay, I'm gonna follow this way and see if it works for me or whatever. See how easy it is, and how cool it is, and all that. Just go through the experience.
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome. They give you all that. But I'm gonna end it here. So everybody, hope you have a great week, and I'll catch you guys next week. Until then.